Hey guys, it's Jana, and we're going to be discussing my February TBR. This time I'm taking a step back, which I mean last time I had 14 books on my TBR and this time I have 10. But the issue is I must follow my vibe. So I did set like a goal that I was like, okay, I will only make another TBR video if I read half of last month's TBR. And I did. So now we're here with another big TBR that I probably won't completely finish, but you know, TBRs aren't to be finished. They're just to be said out loud for fun. So we are first going to spin for my 2 spinning wheels. So we're going to spin for my romantasy. So let's go ahead and start that now. So I've been meaning to read this for so long. I have been, in the bookish space for well over a decade. Like, I have been synced in. I think it'll come as a surprise that I haven't read the Remnant Chronicles. It seems something that should be super up my alley, like a YA kind of focused on romance, a fantasy. Like it just has elements that I think everyone would be like, yeah, it would make sense that you would like that, and it does not make sense that you haven't read it. So we are correcting it this month. I don't know if I'll read all of them. I'm only putting the first one on my TBR, but I do think I'm gonna really like it. So if you don't know, this is obviously a young adult fantasy that follows a girl who gets into an arranged marriage to a prince of another kingdom that she doesn't know. And so she ends up running away and being like, I'm going to start this new life. I'm going to be by myself. But what she doesn't know is when she goes to start this new life, both a prince and an assassin follow her. And from what I've heard over the years, I think when you read from the prince and the assassin's point of view, you're not sure like which one's which on her end. And so you don't know who to root for. So I think this sounds like a lot of fun, and I do think I'm gonna love it. So Remnant Chronicles, I'm really happy with this because also it's February. Like, so this just seems like a nice February read. And next we're gonna do my historical romance spin. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, do I know who Shauna Gellin is? No. My friend Emily made this wheel, and then I just was like, cool, no work. I'm gonna just spin your wheel for myself. And then I think I added like 1 author to it. So, I really put in my work in this group project.
1 hour later.
Okay. I looked her up and I took some recommendations from also Emily. Thank you, Emily, for dealing with me. So I'm gonna go with Third Son's a Charm. And so apparently this follows like the third son in a like one of those like high class like families, so like where the first son's gonna like inherit everything, and so after that you're just like after him. So he has gone to war and has come back and is like resettling into society from war, and he becomes the bodyguard to a duke's daughter. So we know how that goes, and I do love a good bodyguard romance. So this sounds amazing. Can't wait to read it. Number generated for my Kindle TBR, and I got 8. And so that's going to be Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. I was like, do I know her name? I don't know. I have read both The Daughter of No Worlds and also the Serpent duology. I've read all of those, and I've liked every book I've read by her, so I'm sure this one's also going to be what I like. And it also has a very classic setup where she is going to like infiltrate his confidences and murder him, and I'm sure they just fall in love instead. So that sounds amazing. Vampire Conqueror, let's go. I am also taking part in a readathon. Takes the whole month of February, and that is a dark academia readathon, also by my friend Emily. Emily's really putting in the work for my life. For some reason, I keep not picking up this one, and I do think I'm gonna like it, so I don't know why I'm not just picking it up. It is If We Were Villains by ML Rio. It's queer, it's a mystery thriller, and then it also focuses on a set of elite students who are like studying Shakespeare in college. So that sounds like a good dramatic time. The second one, it's hard to be excited about it because my friends have told me I am most likely going to DNF it, but it's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I really want to try this, so this is going to be my second attempt because I did DNF it, but the first time I read it, I was listening to it on audio and I really just didn't like Donna Tartt narrated it herself and it just didn't work for me. Like something about it was not good. So we're going to try again, and this time I'm going to physically read it. So hopefully I do end up liking this and it like surprises me, but a lot of my friends have said that they don't think this is for me, and I respect their opinion, but I'm still going to try. I'm going to commit right now to reading at least 80 pages of this. That's enough, right? I'm sure Emily's thrilled. This is one of Emily's favorite books, so I do have to give it a good college try, and I will. And then my buddy reads again. I have 3 buddy reads that I read with 2 of my best friends, Kaylee and Emily. Again, Emily is this whole video. At this point, my whole personality, and that's fine. So we picked 2 very angsty books and then a third kind of lighter book to follow it up, because this month we wanted to focus on Black authors, obviously because February is Black History Month. So we picked 3 romances that we are very excited about. And the first one is Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. And this is a deceased husband's best friend's romance. So, ooh, like, I feel like just saying that, you already know that this is going to be angsty. And I guess they have a very, like, contentious relationship, and it's very, like, push-pull. They haven't, in the past, like, super gotten along, but I'm hoping it's in the sense that, like, oh, he really liked her, but feels bad and, like, guilty because she was his best friend's girl, you know? Like, that's what I'm hoping. It does sound like he's, like, you know, going through it, and I'm sure she is, too. She has a dead husband to deal with, so she's probably going through a lot. And then the next one I'm very excited about and also like a little hesitant about, and it's The Kingmaker by Kennedy Ryan. So my history with Kennedy Ryan is I've only read her basketball books, which I've loved, and I gave one of them 5 stars. Like, you'd be like, okay, but it's been almost 2 years since I've read that. And it's because she punches you in your feelings so hard. I have been reverberating for years. She really like knows how to tap into emotion. Like, and it feels in a way that's earned, because I always get mad in romance novels when something I can tell is like trying to make me feel a certain way, where I think authentically Kennedy Ryan just gets you there without it feeling like, okay, now they want me to feel sad. Like, it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like they're like, I am now directing you to have this feeling. She's just like this, and you're like, oh, thank you so much. So they end up being really good. But this one in particular is about a Native American activist and then the son of a company who is building a pipeline, and she and the heroine, who is the Native American activist, is protesting this pipeline. So that sounds very contentious, and Kennedy Ryan will hurt my feelings. Yeah. To follow up those 2 heavy books, we're reading Sunny Disposition by Deanna Gray, and this looks just, you know, what we need after those 2 heavy books. So this is going to be so he looks like he plays hockey, and then she is a streamer, and then he anonymously like moderates her streams for her. They kind of know each other. I think this is going to be like a secret identity situation, which doesn't always work for me, but I think this will be what I need in a light, fluffy romance after the other 2. And it also looks so cute. I love these covers, and I've been meaning to try this author forever, so I'm really glad that we get the opportunity this month. And then I have some rereads on my mind. We'll see if I get to these. Like, these ones are going to be more on the back burner if I pick up other things that I'm interested in. These usually live behind me. So this is Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Heart of the Sun Warrior. This month comes out Tales of the Celestial Kingdom, which is a short story bind-up that takes place in this world. And I absolutely love this. They are both 5 stars for me. This is based on like a Chinese legend. I just love these characters, all of the emotions you're put through. I love that I didn't always totally know what was going to happen next, and I would be like surprised. And this one really does like pull on your heartstrings. So I haven't read this since 2022. These definitely were on my favorites list of 2022. So I'm really excited to read these again, and it just like makes my heart feel good to think of being back in this world. So I'm excited for some new content as well. I will be picking up, which I think it's rude that I did leave this book in the other room, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This book, if you don't know, is like my heart book. This book haunts me. I think about it all the time. There's passages in this that just totally rip my heart out. It doesn't put it back together, but it does rip it out. I think this is just something that I think people who deal with like a lot of mental illness will connect to, because there's a lot of like touch points in this that make it just so beautiful and wonderful. It's just like a story about being seen and like wanting like human connection. And so I'm excited to reread The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue this month. Those are all of my plans for February. Please let me know what you will be reading or prioritizing in February. Thanks for watching.